Hello, I'm the Pop Culture Guy, and for those of you who are new to this, I pretty much review movies and I end up destroying a copy. In which case, to coincide with the popularity of Fast and Furious number 7, I will hereby be talking about what I consider to be the worst of the bunch, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Now, now the Fast and the Furious movies are just a bunch of dumb movies that where each sequel just serves no purpose other than to just have car just show off car chases. Last and also that this in one in particular I hate because none of the main cast is in it. I mean, no Paul Walker, no Vin Diesel, no nothing. So yes, this is gonna be a little treat, and here we go. So our film begins where we see our main character named Sean, played by Lucas Black, who basically goes through everything that to high school in trouble. Basically, is a slacker in high school, essentially, only if he worked on cars. Again, very much like how the sequels are in general. Where pretty much we see him as a protagonist where he's not trying to save someone who's being picked on by bullies, I guess, because he's getting spray painted. Where he then gets in a feud with this stereotypical Flash Thompson, and I do mean he's Flash Thompson, as we see him then break a car windshield with a baseball, and this causes them to have a race. And which serves no purpose other than to show off cars, and logic just takes a back seat. Like, for example, why is this truck, which is like staying up with this Viper? I mean, seriously, that's just unrealistic. And also, despite the fact that they're going through housing constructions, Sean's car remains minimal damage. Yeah, essentially he's like Brian number 2. Where pretty much eventually it ends with them crashing their cars. After which Sean gets arrested by the cops, and not only that, but so does the Flash character. Yeah, I know he has a name, but I'm just calling him Flash right now. And with their rich parents bailing them out of jail, Sean isn't none the wiser. As what happens is that Sean, rather than just going to jail because, well, that'd be a wise option, instead, and decides to live with his father in Tokyo. And at his new school, he discovers that there is this token black guy who introduces him to this hot rod that I think is borrowed from the Incredible Hulk, where they end up going to a drift race. Street race. You get it. Where Sean gets into a feud with a Yakuza because he's hitting on this woman, and that the Yakuza is apparently crowned a Drift King. And what happens is that they end up drifting, as they call it, through cars, and Sean ends up getting his car busted. So with this, he teams up with another person named Hod, who would later go on to be in the other sequels, where basically what happens is that he ends up improving over the years until eventually the Yakuza guy and Sonny Shiba, with the help of his grandfather, played by Sonny Shiba. What are you doing here, man? You're awesome. Well, anyway, this causes a bit of a feud with Han, where what happens is that a bunch of cars go out of there no doubting go out into the streets, no doubt causing dozens of lives at risk. So after Han's untimely demise, they decide to get what remains of the car and challenge Drift King to a showdown, which involves just riding down this basic road with no traffic in sight. Well, this is a Fast and Furious movie, so I guess you can't complain there. But anyway, as you can guess, Sean wins, and DK, and he is now crowned the new DK, Drift King. And with that, they decide to go to the garage where all this nonsense started, where we meet fan service, Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto. Vin Diesel's character Dominic Toretto, for no reason other than fan service, as they ride off together, and the movie's over. This movie, where do I begin? Well, first of all, it has almost nothing to do with the other movies, since the cast is different. The story is just weird, and like drifting. Like, why don't they just call it what it is? Street racing. And lastly, all this stuff with Tokyo, it's just horrible. Like, virtually none of the characters you have any sort of likability whatsoever. And do yourself a favor, please don't see Fast and Furious 7. It's best if you don't. And now, to give this movie a true deserving of what's a better franchise than this. I'm a pop culture guy, and I will see you later.